All right, Engr Desmond. So we are here again at one of your sites in Lagos, Lekki area precisely, and this is a very massive structure. So, and I have a lot of questions I want to ask you here because of the circumstances, or because of what I have seen environmentally concerning this very structure.
Okay.
You know, first of all, there are two buildings here. This one, how many stories are we on? This one we are on, how many stories is it?
This one we are standing on is a 2-story building.
2-story. What about the other one?
That one is a 1-story building.
It's a 1-story building.
Okay.
And as I understand, as you told me earlier, as I asked you that, both of these buildings are standing on a single plot?
Yes, they are on a single plot. That is 120 by 60.
Is this
in feet.
Okay.
That is the size of land, the measurement in Lagos, 120 by 60.
Okay, that's the standard measurement here in Lagos.
Yes, so we're able to use it to achieve the two buildings. We use half plot this way and the other half this way.
Now, let's give us the description of the two buildings. This very one we are standing in, how many bedrooms is it, or is it flats for rent?
Okay, this one we are standing on now is a 2 floors, 2 bedroom. It's a 2 bedroom flat. That means the consist is that the ground floor consists of 2 flats of 2 bedroom each.
Okay.
That is 2 bedroom, 2 bedroom. That's 4 bedroom, but shared into twin 2 bedroom.
Twin 2 bedroom, duplex or
flats.
Sorry.
An apartment. 2 bedroom apartment. That's
we rented out.
Rented, yes, for service renting. Then the first floor, same thing. Then the last floor, same thing. So that consists of 6 flats of 2 bedroom, 6 flats. Ground floor 2. First floor 2, and then the last floor 2. That's 6 flats.
Then the other building beside this one, you said, what about that one?
The other building beside it is also situated in an half plot out of the 120 by 60.
That's in this very plot we are standing now?
Yes, this same very plot.
So it's just standing beside this one?
It's standing beside this, and there's a little space that we're going to have a dual fence in between them. So that one is a 4 bedroom duplex.
Okay.
Meaning that the ground floor consists of the ante, the living room, the dining, the kitchen, and then one room. And then that one room also have their balcony, the entrance porch, entrance porch. Okay, let's start again from the entrance porch to the living room, to the ante, from the ante that leads to the living room. From the living room, there's a corridor, that's a balcony, rather a lobby that leads through to the kitchen. And then there's also another lobby that leads through to visitors' room downstairs. Like I said, it's 1 room down and 3 rooms up.
Upstairs.
And then also have a way that leads you through the balcony, kitchen balcony, at the back, that kitchen exit.
Yeah, I know.
It has 2 exits, one from front, one at the back. Okay, so there's another one that also, that same balcony around the kitchen that leads through to the visitors' room. And then the other one by the left take you to the staircase that takes you up. So when you get up, you meet a family lounge. Okay. When you get up, you get to a landing, and the landing will lead you to the family lounge. From the lounge now, from the lounge you now have a balcony that can give you a view outside of exactly. Let's call it children parlor. Okay. Then when we're out of the balcony, you come back to the landing. The landing now is this way, takes you to the master bedroom that has a good sizable room and have a walk-in closet. Then, as a matter of fact, the 3 rooms upstairs, including the room downstairs, has all walk-in closet. That's the closet, that's the wardrobe space. And they are all in suits. Their toilets are all in suits, and their toilet. And then among the 3 rooms upstairs, one of the rooms has a balcony at the back that can give you a view
of the
vicinity, the area.
Okay. Yeah. Now, first of all, I understand that this project, you didn't start it recently. You started it earlier on, then there was a pause maybe from the client. Yeah. So, and you said the client wants to resume work again. Now, the question here is, when did you start this particular project?
We started this project 2021 during Easter. Okay. It was a week about Easter. Okay. After a week after Easter, just that same week that we are now ending Easter 2021. We started the project, and then we ran through. Of course, we were carrying the 2 simultaneously. The 2 were running
Okay, building both of them at the same time.
The foundation were done the same time, the stages were done same time, everything was going on same, and there was no stopping. And we also produced our blocks right here on site.
Okay.
Blocks were molded right here on site. We didn't buy the blocks, we were producing them on site ourselves. We are working. Okay. And then, of course, you know that this is swampy area.
Yes, I'll come to that.
Okay, good. So they were all running side by side until we took it through 2022. Towards August, we had a post. That's the stage we are now.
Okay, well, the post, was it from you guys or the client?
Not at all. The post was, the client actually tried, because carrying these two projects at the same time wasn't really easy. So we took it, we got to August, we said, oh, let's have some break. And then we have to now recalculate. You know, contacted me that we need to start.
We need to restart again now.
The next stage, the roofing of the two buildings, and then the finishing will commence.
Okay, just the roofing now and the finishing, that's what is left now.
Yes, that's what is left. When you mean the finishing, like the roofing, the plastering,
the windows,
the doors, and all
toilets and
exactly.
Okay, now here's where it gets tricky about this land. You see, we're in Lekki area, and we know that Lekki is notorious for flooding, and even before we got here now, we've had to enter so many ditches and pools and all. Yeah. But that being said, this place is a swamp. It's not even a swamp.
It's complete swamp. It's not even a refill land, swamp. It's all swamp.
Yes.
Now, this building is in Lekki Phase 2. We call this part of site Lekki Scheme 2.
Okay.
Of Abraham Adesanya.
Okay. I'll come to my question now. Okay. Oh, we're coming here to climb up was even a problem for me.
Yes.
Because I noticed that the DPC of this building is up to my chest.
It's more than your chest.
It's even as tall as me.
Exactly.
So I want you to walk us through the technicalities of building in a swamp like this, because to be honest with you, this is the first time I have seen a DPC that is as tall as I am. You know, so I want you to walk us through the technicalities of how you guys were able to put up the DPC to that stage, and what, from your expertise, what have you guys done to make sure that this building, as tall as it is safe for people to occupy, and people don't have to worry because of the situation of the land here.
Okay, good. Now, I'm going to be briefed and try to be as on point I could be, so that I can give answers to your question and to our viewers who are interested. Now, you have seen other of our projects in the East, starting from there. And it's one of our projects that is the same two-story building. You asked a question somewhere in Port Harcourt. I said, you did a mini raft. Good. You now ask what is mini raft, and I'll walk you through. A mini raft is just when you have a one board on the ground floor, on the foundation, and then you use block to complete it. Now, in this, and you also saw other of our projects somewhere in East part of Nigeria that there was no raft at all. We just run through it, like, you know, and then and this explanation has been given the reason why they are all like this. Now, in this very one, you know, I always said it, that we have the swampy. This one is a total swamp.
Yes, it is.
It's a total swamp.
It is.
There is no, you cannot excavate. Like when I mean excavate is digging. For some who may not really understand, you cannot dig or excavate even up to 2 feet without entering water. You don't even need to excavate before touching water.
Yes.
Either rainy season or dry season or whatever season it may be. Okay. So now we have a special preparation for this kind of ground, this kind of land. Rafting. Okay. And if this building were to be more than this story, like you know that this one is 1 story and this one is 2 story. If this building were to be more than 3, let's say 3 and above or 4, I won't do rafts. We will do piling. We will do what is called piling. That is another level of it. Until when we get there, by the grace of God, we're going to do 1 or so 2. So this one is standing on raft, and that raft you saw that the DPC is higher than taller than you, right? Like what
complete casting.
It's complete casting. You're going to see the video and pictures and the updated stages of all of it is. What we did is clear the land. Clear is a part where our the setting out, the formwork, then clear a part where our trench will be. That is the sizes of the demarcation, the rooms and everything. And then we now bring in cement and granite and blind through those trench. Those areas where we're going to mark out for the walls, walls area. And then after that, we bring in our marine boards and normal boards we buy in the market. We run it through the lines, and then we run it through the lines. We do a reinforcement, that is iron. This iron consists of 12 mm, 16 mm, depending on their positions, depending on their requirements, according to the structural details. They all have structural details, excuse me. So we run them through, and then it's all casting. Like what you do in the bridge is casting, because anything outside from that, the building will not stand. Like you have said that, oh, our mine shop, people can stay. That's the principle, and we've been doing, and that is basically any house that you have seen that stand the test of time around the island, the Lekki, the swampy area, anywhere in the world that is swampy. That is a principle and that is a procedure. So we did all casting, and when you get to the DPC level, there is no block, like I said, no block. Block has not come in yet.
Okay, at that point.
At that point, it's just what we use that place is rods. That's rod, cement, granite, and sand. Of course, water is what brings them together. We did all that to the DPC level. They will now get some filling materials. And the filling materials is not like, it's still good materials. Because they are all component of foundation that's going to carry this building. Like we are standing on the first floor now, first floor.
Yes.
Exactly, and we have gone through all the floors. So we fill it inside, just like the preparation on the bridges and the road. We fill it inside, and after the filling, we will now do it matting. What we call matting is like decking. We are standing on the deck now.
Yes.
And we are also looking at deck.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Now that DPC you saw there is the same principle you did this decking. Matting. We use the reinforcement to run through the mats, like in sections. It has their 6-inch spaces calculated, and then we first of all we deck it and then cast it. After the casting, that's the end of DPC. Then we now come there and start blocks
from that point
upwards.
And this is very safe.
This is super safe, and don't also forget that these things are done based on structural details and the given information. Because every land has its own details and how it should, the application should be.
Okay, so when it comes to the details of this land and everything, did you guys do a soil test before you went ahead with this?
Yes, soil test was done.
And then what about the drawing you did for the building? Was it based on the test that you guys did before you went ahead to do the architectural drawing?
Yeah, exactly. We did the soil test, and then but though they are similar situations, What will I say by similar situation is that there are some lands that, for example, now we did a test in this one plot. There's another empty plot behind that is also owned by our client's friend. Is owned by him. So he's also saying, okay, we're going to do some similar thing. So even if we don't do that test, we are going to apply similar, because
it's just
the same vicinity, the same environment. So even if we choose not to do that test, but there are things you cannot avoid when you are constructing. The architectural drawing, the structural details, all that is required to make sure you have a good structure, superstructure, and good foundation, such that it can carry your buildings.
And this is the same thing that was applied in both the
the same thing,
the 5-bedroom duplex and this.
Yes, because it's a duplex. The same thing that was applied.
One person owns both of them.
The same person owns the two.
This one is for rent. That one is for living.
Yes, that is one for rent. That's one for living. But that also depends that maybe at the time you may choose not to live and also give it out. Because around here people are building duplexes for rent and same things like that.
I see that this area is a developing area right now. Because while we were coming here, I saw more than 15 estates or 10. I lost count at some point. Lekki this, Lekki that, different Dream City, and all those kind of estates around here. And so, if somebody, I'm assuming that it's the same building procedures that they apply to their lands too.
Same.
If they have to build in this kind of place, then that has to be.
That is what it is.
The standard.
No difference. No, that's what it is. Except you don't want to achieve good structure, not good results.
Now, how long did it take you people to lift this building to this stage that it is when you were working on it?
Fine. Like I said, we're doing concurrently. So we started it 2021, the
Easter period. That's around April.
Last week of Easter, exactly around April. Last week of Easter celebration, we moved to site, and then we ran as a December. As a December, we had already taken the duplex to roofing level. The stage it is now. So we are now going with this one. And so this one now took us till December, January. Of course, we had break during December because we also wanted to do that, and the client, we all agreed that we should do some break. So January 2022, we get back to site. So I think I would say possibly like 7 months. 7-8 months. Though we had a break of more than a month in between them.
So this 8 months was for both buildings.
For the both.
You ran them all to this point.
Yes, for both buildings.
That they are now.
Yes.
Okay.
I would say 6. I would say 6 months and not really 7 months, because between the 8 months we had
some breaks. Let's just say it's 8 months, including breaks. Because breaks were also important in the course of the.
No, the break wasn't really that we wanted to do break. At least we would have just did a 2 weeks break for Christmas.
And the client wanted break.
But the client just said, "Oh, guys, you guys, we have tried," and even say, "Oh, guys, take some bonus and take some time off."
Okay, so we're going to talk about the costing of this, how much it costs you guys at that time to raise this to this point. But now, this is the building now that we are in. You guys have done the raft and you've explained how the process of how you guys made it safe. The compound, the land like in front, it's a mess because of the heavy pond water that is standing there and everything. So are you guys now going to still do rafting for the whole compound?
Now, just like you see other developed estates, like we're coming in, you saw those estates, you saw their floor level, you see the compound. We are going to do soil preparation. Now we are going to do some sand filling good materials such as hard cores, you know, that's
hardcore
stones and the rest. Wherever we see them, we buy, and we're going to fill, because the reason why we cannot go about doing rafts on the floor is because it's not carrying any load.
It's not carrying any load.
It's just the floor that it is. Like you wake up and drive in, the compound should be serene and what have you. So that is all that is required. But trust me, during our matting, we are going to do this concrete floor. It's called concrete stamp ingredients. So when we do that, on the top of it, we are going to introduce wire mesh. It's like a tiny wire mesh floor iron. Yes, we'll introduce it before we do our casting. So we cannot go beyond that, because it's just a floor. And then talking about the reason why we made our DPC very high is because, like I mentioned this in our the other former videos, we had reasons for always increasing our DPC. The reason is because checking through this road, the road has not been constructed yet. So we have to put in consideration when the gully will be done, the road will be constructed, and then all that. So you have
the road will be raised.
The road will be raised.
Because they will fill it and everything will come up.
But if you are building in an environment or in a street where the road has already been constructed, like one of our projects that we'll visit soon, then that's no problem. You don't afford to go too far. You just maybe a little bit higher, so that if tomorrow the road gets spoiled and they want to redo the road, you still be on a better side. But this one now, we have to go as high as your height, just because whatever happened on the road, then the compound, the building, everything will be safe.
From
of
flooring.
course, exactly, from flooring.
Okay.
Yes, that's backflow into the compound. Exactly.
All right. So let's talk about the cost of building this house. Because I think it's one of the things that almost everybody wants to know.
Exactly.
How much does it cost to build something like this?
Okay.
And in fact, me myself too, I want to know. So first of all, I will ask you this question step by step. We'll come to, before we talk about the DPC. Now, from your drawing, how many blocks did you guys put inside this building?
Okay.
Let's talk about this one first, the two-bedroom apartment first, before the other one. Okay,
now, from our drawing, the calculation. Okay, shall I say the reality?
The reality.
Exactly. We've done the reality.
Okay.
So let's talk about the reality.
Okay.
Okay, so we had used there was no block on the ground floor of the DPC.
No, let's do the DPC. We'll come back to the DPC yet.
There was no block at the foundation.
Okay.
So now after the DPC, laying from the ground floor, we had used, at the ground floor, we used 3,720 blocks.
For just this?
The DPC. 3,320.
No, hold on.
For this two bedroom.
For the two bedroom, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The 2 bedroom.
Okay, only the ground floor alone.
Yeah, ground floor took. Then
how many thousand?
3,720.
3,720 blocks.
20 blocks.
Okay.
Then when we got to the first floor, we had little expansion. Of course.
It's a story building.
So we had so that the rooms upstairs would be bigger. So I think 125 blocks added to it.
Okay.
So that gives us, if you add 3,720 to 120, that's about 4,000 blocks.
Okay.
So I would say we use 3,000 720, and then on the ground floor, first floor, 4,000 blocks, then the last floor, 4,000 blocks. So if you do 4,000 plus 3,720, that gives us about 11,000, about 12,000 blocks, but not up to 12,000.
Just estimatedly around 12,000 blocks.
Yes.
For this, what about the 5-bedroom duplex?
The 5-bedroom duplex, we used the 5-bedroom duplex. Of course, there was no block
on the foundation,
like you know, and it was also casting. So we used 8,700 blocks
for the entire
yes
building from the DPC point where and up to the
because it's just one city, and you know now that one is more of is a duplex, so the demarcations and sharings are not much.
Okay.
Now the ground floor is what you have at the ground floor is the living room, the living room, and then the toilet by the living room, the kitchen, the dining, one room downstairs, and then the restroom. So they are more bogus than
this one.
Exactly, they are more bogus and more sizable. That the rooms are more roomy. The spaces are more than this.
Okay.
Of course, this one is for rent.
Okay.
And then that one is for
So now, what about the DPC? Because that's the one I'm most interested in.
Yes.
Because for a DPC that goes from the ground up to my height and even above my height, how much did it cost you guys for each of these buildings to construct the DPC? Now, first of all, let me ask you, the DPC of this apartment buildings, these 2-story apartments of the 2-bedroom flats, was it more than the other one, the 5-bedroom duplex?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so
one with the heights.
With the height. So give us a cost breakdown as of then. And please, I want you guys to also know that this costing that he is giving was between 2021 and 2022.
By then, we were buying cement 2,800.
Okay, by then cement was 2,800, 2,000.
We started by 2,500. It went to 2,800.
Okay.
The last cost we bought cement, 2022, was 4,100.
Okay.
Before we shut down.
So please, this building was done as of the time where it was built, or it was raised to this level as of the time when cement was selling for 4,800. Yeah.
No, I said 3,800, 3,800, and then we went to 4,100.
Okay. So I want you guys to know that this building was actually raised to this point at the time where cement was selling under 5,000 naira. Around 5,008, 2,000 plus and all of that. So whatever the costing that Engr Desmond is mentioning now it's for that time, it's not for now. So you guys should please please bear that in mind. So there is a lot of inflation that has gone on in Nigeria right now, a lot of things. So you guys have to keep that in mind so that you will not send me emails and call me like most people usually do and say, you said that building cost 70 million naira, or that building cost $100,000. You guys are lying. Please understand that these buildings were not built yesterday. These are buildings that have been built over time. Some of them were built 2 years ago. Some of them, the project started a year ago. And you know, as Nigeria is right now, everything is changing by the day. So whatever the price is, if he says, I will allow Engr Desmond to continue, but if he says that the price is 70 million as of that time, understand that right now it could be around 120 or 130 million, depending on where your land is and all of that. So please, let's get this in mind, or let's keep this in mind while he continues to explain. So engineer, back to you. So please give us a cost breakdown of the DPC, what you spent on both of these buildings.
Okay, fine. The way we did it, because since they were all running concurrently, is first of all, when we came on ground, we set up the 2-bedroom flat where we are standing, because it was wider. Like it has a wider span, and you know, because of the contents, you know, it's wider and bigger than the other house. Okay, so we brought in our materials. You know, especially the concern here is the wood, the planks. So we use them to start the formwork here, and then we also started our reinforcement work on the other side. They were running So then we started the casting, the concreting here.
So what much did you guys spend?
So after we lose this one, we took it there. So I would say that some materials were interchanged because we lose this one and take it there, and there's a way.
Okay, you use some materials you use there. See, you use it there, and it saves cost.
Not what that should exist to save cost. Not what should stay here. There are things that should stay in a building that can.
Okay, basically things like wood.
The wood exactly
was used to recast.
Exactly. Sometimes we lose here, we take it there. We move from here, we take it here, and it was always here first before there. So I would say that because when we did the bill for these projects, the total building were about 40 million naira for Carcass.
For the Carcass alone?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
As of 2021?
Yes, the total building because of the foundation.
Oh, this country don't have it.
Yes, that is the two building.
Wow.
Yes, it was about 40, I think 43 million naira was supposed to be the cost for the Carcass all through. But, now, I will tell you that as at the time we finished that last year. Yeah, but at the time we finished that last year, we had spent, because cement started adding to 200 to 300, the rotting, the cement. Though my client had this plan in mind, what we do is that we're buying the iron in box. So even the one we never need, we just go to market and start buying. We always say, engineer, where are you? Okay, I'm coming. Let's go and get you something. We'll just come. Engineer, I sent you money. I said, okay, we'll just go. We buy these things even when we're not ready for them. So even when the price of things went higher, we're not bothered. Sometimes we even send money to people who are selling, like the cement people, the Dangote group, we send money to them ahead of time. So whenever this thing goes up, it doesn't affect us. So we're actually very good. The only thing that we're a little bit changing with the labor. And of course, labor is not always too, what I mean. So I would say that we had spent about almost 50 million naira as at the stage we did the two projects.
No. Do you have a concise price for the Carcass alone?
Yes.
How much did you guys spend for just the Carcass?
For the two buildings?
No. I mean the raft. The DPC or the raft?
The raft.
The one that got up to my head.
Okay. The raft. That's the raft for the two buildings.
Yes.
Okay, the raft for the two buildings took us about 15 million naira. Okay,
so engineer, if you were building this structure now, let's assume that this was 2023 that this was actually being built. How much would you have spent from the foundation? And that's considering inflation.
Yeah.
Where we are now, cement is now selling for over 5,000 naira. Yeah, some materials have added over
price and all that.
Added price like 150%. Some have even doubled. So how much do you think you will actually spend in 2023 to actually raise this structure from the foundation stage to the roofing stage, which is where we are now? Okay, fine.
Roofing stage is in the sense that we haven't done the roof yet.
Yes.
Okay, we have not done the wooding and of course the roof covering yet.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so if we had to, for now, as at the present, would have spent, I think maybe because of the current things, maybe extra 20 million naira. Okay. Or 25. Let's say that would give us like 70, 75 or 80 million naira.
Okay.
That would have been what we would have spent now for the two buildings.
Okay.
Yes. But at least that will also cover the roof.
Okay, this 70 million or 75 million
yes,
cover the roof.
Because they are all Carcass.
Okay.
Yeah, all Carcass. It's just structure you build. The most important part of it is the deckings, the rafting we did on the foundation to solidify the building, the rafting, the deckings, each of the decking, the other side has the raft and one decking. This one has a raft and two deckings. Okay. And I also have a concrete fascia, which is parapet. So I think we would have spent at least 70-75 million for the two. Okay. Because the blocks are not always too expensive. Okay. The block is, when you mold, like I said, we're molding by yourself. And we're walking. We're molding and we're walking. Exactly.
It's all right. So, thank you so much for your wealth of experience and expertise again.
Thank you so much.
So, what I want to ask of you is, once you want to resume this project, as in like putting the next stage roof and the finishing and all of that, please invite us, let us come and document it by ourselves so that we can have a concise price or record of what it will cost for finishing, because I know there are a lot of people that are not really interested in pushing. Some people already own a building like this. They will be interested in what it will cost to finish it.
Exactly.
Some people have been holding their projects for a while, and so I'm sure if they find a reasonable price or an engineer that can do something reasonable for them, they can decide to shoot it up again. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I hope to see you in the next project very, very soon.
It's a pleasure.
God bless you.